seen that, staying informed about the market, staying informed about investment tools, staying informed in totality with your financial literacy bit is very important. But women have busy schedules. They are working, juggling a couple of things. There are newer products that come into the market which they are not able to sort of experience or find more information on. How do you stay on top of this game? How do women educate themselves more, and how important is the role of a financial planner there?
Great. So thank you for having me on this panel, Mukta and Hindustan Times and Aditya Birla. It's a pleasure. So I think, yeah, this is a very important aspect that we are, facing with our own couple clients. What we do is we encourage the ladies to be present in all our review meetings. So it could start, and they could be a housewife, they could be married, they could have their, so it is difficult trying to schedule their time kind of commitment, but the conversations that come up and the kind of arguments or the kind of decision making that comes, which you can't otherwise see when you're just entering data, say on a data sheet. I think that has brought about a lot of important aspects when it comes to taking life decisions on their financial matters. So it could be, for example, the household expenses. A woman might say that, this is far too much what my husband has entered, it could be lesser. And she would really know because she's the one who's managing the budget at home. And similarly, for example, a goal like education versus marriage. Again, we've seen a lot of discussions that happen where the woman says, no, I think you need to give priority on education over marriage for our children. So these kind of healthy discussions, and sometimes I've noticed that the most practical solutions come from the woman, and even from the woman homemaker. And this is why we encourage that these joint discussions and couple discussions are done. So we try and ensure that during the reviews that both are present to discuss the same.
Now, that is so important. Giving women the agency and the opportunity, both together, is so important, because a lot of times we see that women are not able to. They are making money, but they don't have charge of their money. Right? They make the money, but then it is somebody else in the family who is deciding what investment tools should be utilized,
Absolutely.
etc.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Amrita, we briefly spoke about mutual funds here, but what strategies should women adopt to maximize their returns with effectively managing their risks as well? And the risks are also associated with their life goals and what they are wanting from life. So, say if we take an average woman, let's just give it a little more anecdotal example. If you take an average person who is a younger person, and say somebody who's in the age span of 30 to 40, and say a woman who is over 50. um let's keep the marital status apart if they are, because a lot of women do not want to be identified just with that. But say we have these three age groups. They could be married, they may not be married, but how do they navigate through this time with the help of mutual funds?
So I think mitigate. So there are two questions that you've posed, Mugda. One is obviously how to maximize returns, and the second is how do you manage risk, right? So you have to have a strategy. Like for maximizing return, you need asset allocation. You need to know your risk tolerance, how much risk you're willing to take, what kind of returns you're targeting, and basis that there are plethora of funds available. Diversify within the funds, diversify if you're doing direct equities, diversify with securities to mitigate risk. Specifically, I think there's some very simple tools used, like you can have your risk tolerance assessment done again and again to say, okay, if I call myself aggressive, was I really aggressive? Am I able to tolerate this kind of risk, or should I be putting my money more towards bonds because I'm not able to handle the risk? Also rebalance the portfolio, because what happens with market movement, while you thought you want to keep it balanced, but because equities have gone up, your portfolio is still again risk heavy. So keep rebalancing, keep re-looking at your portfolio. The other way of mitigating risk is don't buy low quality investments. Look at large caps, look at balanced funds, look at high quality investments other than mutual funds if you're not such a risk taker. You can even look at dividend paying, dividend yielding funds. I think the key here is to stay informed, continuously monitor how your portfolio is performing. If there is underperformance, question why. Why is it underperforming? What can I do to maximize return and reduce risk? Adjust from changes in your own life. If your income is going up, you've got bonus, so keep your strategy aligned to your life changes. And I think apart from this, avoid timing the market. Like a lot of time
Of
people
course.
end up taking higher risk because they think they will time the market. So avoid timing the market, and also don't get emotional with your investments, right? If something is underperforming, question and exit. Don't say, oh, maine to liya tha, ab to I'll wait till it. So, don't get emotional with your holdings. Take a call, decide, okay, not working for me, let me try something else. Give it the time you decided to give it, and exit. So have a exit strategy.
An investor education and awareness initiative of Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार के जोखिमों के अधीन है। स्कीम संबंधी सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।